name is Becki Melvie. Welcome to QCTV Cooks. Today we are going to be doing summer sandwiches because it's hot outside and we don't have time to be in the kitchen, so we want to give you a really fresh, fun tuna fish sandwich that everyone is going to love. Based with sourdough bread. So we're going to quickly talk about sourdough bread and how amazing a simple, fast, fresh sandwich can be. So in my tuna fish sandwich, we will have some tinned tuna from Spain, fresh celery that I got at the farmer's market, some green onion, a little bit of pickle juice, a little bit of lemon juice, some greens, and good mayo. It's going to be delicious. So let's begin. To start your sandwich, you'll get 4 ounces of tuna fish. I like to pick tuna that has been canned in water, not oil. And this particular product is from my shop at the Abundant Kitchen in Buffalo. These fillets of tuna are from Spain, and you might not think, in this part of the world, we think of tinned tuna as maybe an inferior product, but in Spain, they put their best fillets of fish in tin. So this is the highest quality tuna that you can find. Great brain food, super fresh, no hot cooking involved. So we're gonna just pop that right into a small mixing bowl. I like to just break it up with a fork, just like this. And then I like to add a whole bunch of crunchy ingredients. And this can be infinitely adaptable to whatever you might have on hand. I'm going to use some fresh celery, just 2 stalks. If you had some fennel bulb, that would be delicious. If you had radishes, that would be great. Whatever you have in the crisper drawer, really. Something crunchy though, to give it a little bit of crunch, okay? A little bit of that, and then some green onion. You could use red onion. You could use white onion, but if it's a fresh onion like that, you do want to chop it pretty fine. For green onion, you don't have to chop it overly fine because it's more mild. You also could do some chives, would be lovely. Then into our mix, we want to add a little bit of freshness. So the freshness comes from lemon and capers. So this is a lemon caper tuna fish salad. So I'm using preserved lemons. This is like lemons on steroids. They are basically just lemons that have been preserved in salt. You just need a little bit. If you couldn't get a hold of this is a product we sell at the shop. You can just use a squirt of fresh lemon, would be totally fine. But it just gives that little bit of briny lemon. Again, speaking of briny, now we're gonna do some capers. This is 2 tablespoons of capers. If you've never had a caper before, it's a berry that is pickled. And it is kind of like a pickly, just puckery, delicious thing that goes well with that salty tuna. All right, so now into our delicious bowl of wonder here. We are going to add in some creaminess, and we need to add about a 1/4 cup of good mayo. Then a little bit of fresh cracked pepper. Now you don't want to put in any salt in here because we have added those capers, the preserved lemon. There's no salt needed. The tuna's pretty salty, but some fresh ground pepper is delicious here. And that's everything. One last little secret ingredient is a dash of pickle juice. Make it creamy and salty again. And then that goes, we're just gonna stir that up. I'm using a special bowl here. This is Polish pottery from my shop in Excelsior. Every piece is hand stamped in Poland with little sponges. Very special. Something as simple as a cute little bowl can really inspire you to get into the kitchen and try something new. Believe me, we all need a little inspiration in the kitchen once in a while. It gets dull sometimes, doesn't it? So that's our lemon caper tuna fish salad. So you want to choose a really delicious piece of bread to house your tuna salad, because just white bread is not going to be good enough here. You want to get a piece of bread that is going to hold up to that tuna fish salad. So a sourdough or a pumpernickel or something with a little bit of heft. And I'm going to do a little extra thing here today and toast the sourdough. So I've got a little grill going here. Not necessary, but if you just want to be a little chefy, you could pop some bread onto a grill. No oil involved here. It's just dry, which might seem a little strange, but we're just going to get that little bit of that black char on the bread to give it a little bit of extra flavor. So we want to watch that and make sure that we don't over toast it. If you didn't have a grill pan like this, you could certainly do it in the oven or in a toaster. Now, like I said at the beginning, I wanted to tell you a little bit about sourdough. Some of you probably got into sourdough baking during the pandemic. This is my sourdough starter. Let me introduce you to Timmy. This is a living culture of flour and water that needs to be fed flour and water. That's all sourdough really is. It's a process of water and flour being mixed together. I have it noted, sourdough starter, do not throw out, because it got thrown out once. My husband thought it was rotten pancake batter. It shouldn't smell rotten. It should smell yeasty and beery, and you should see little bubbles. So to start sourdough, all you need to do is mix together equal amounts flour and water into a jar. Some people will tell you you need to get someone else's sourdough starter to begin your own, and that's true, but it will give it a more active, bubbly leavening. I see my bread here starting to smoke. Let's check it out here. Oh, we're getting a little bit of grill. We're just gonna give that a little bit more time. Sorry, back to the sourdough starter. Like I was saying, you don't need someone else's starter to begin your own starter. What it takes is 7 days of mixing flour, equal amounts. You just put your jar on a kitchen scale and you measure equal amounts flour. Bread flour is better because of the higher protein content, and equal amounts water. So I do 50 grams water, 50 grams flour on my kitchen scale. And if you're just beginning a sourdough starter without the mother culture, like from a friend or whatever, you would do this for 7 days to get the bubbles going. And you just mix that up. And when I say to get the bubbles going, what does that mean? It just means that that's the leavening. So there's no yeast involved in sourdough. It's the natural yeast from the environment. Okay, so you see we're getting a little bit of brown on our bread, and that's just that extra little flavor that the tuna fish is gonna have a little party with the bread. It's gonna be amazing. Almost done with the sandwich. Our sourdough starter, we just fed it, a little bit of flour, a little bit of water, mix it up, do this every day for 7 days. You should start to see little bubbles right here growing. See this rubber band? I put it right where the flour ends, and in about 3 to 6 hours after you get a really active sourdough starter, this flour is gonna go up like this. And that means that natural leavening is happening. And once you get that natural leavening happening, you want to basically just keep feeding it flour and water. And there's great sourdough recipes out there. King Arthur website's one of my favorite. And it's about a 3-day process to get to this loaf here. So it is a little bit of a labor of labor, how do you say that? But it is delicious, homemade, and it's something you can be really proud of when you do complete it. And you know, the question I get a lot is, how do you slice bread? So let me show you how to slice bread, and then we're gonna eat this sandwich. So let's say you take home a bowl of bread like this, or you get into the sourdough making and you end up creating this delicious piece of bread. I believe in you, you can do it. All you do is slice it right down the center, like this, okay? Let's move that out of the way there. Here we go. You just slice it right down the center, back and forth using a really good bread knife. Then move aside one half of the bread. Put the bread bowl on a cut side so it's flat. That's always easier and more stable. And then cutting down. There it is, and then that goes onto your grill. So let's make our sandwich. Are you ready? Where did my tongs go? Here they are. So we've got, oh, look at that. Now we've got the good grill marks. That's what we're looking for. Just like that, perfect. So now we'll go ahead and put a little bit of our lemon caper tuna salad on top of our grilled sourdough bread. Now, how lovely would this be if you just invited friends over for a light dinner or a lunch, and you brought out sandwiches on a platter just like this, and you brought them out with a little bit of your really pretty greens, right like that, right like that, and you topped it with a little bit of microgreens, just like that. Microgreens are so delicious and healthy for you. All right, a little bit of microgreens right on the top, and you've got a fresh, easy sandwich that is going to be so delicious for friends. Easy lunch, easy dinner. That's it. Here it is, our lemon caper tuna salad on sourdough that has been grilled. Little bit of fresh salad on the side if you want, some greens. Could definitely serve it with a little pickle, carrot stick, whatever you got. So cheers, here's to sandwiches. Check out the Abundant Kitchen in Buffalo and Excelsior, and do us a favor, share the video, hit like, and make sandwiches. Bye.